Hello and welcome back with me, Admiral, joining me back on Star Trek Fleet Command. So first of all, I can't believe I'm doing another video on this. Scopely are just bringing out the updates so fast these days. I genuinely can't believe it. So thank you very much for all the new subscribers. Don't forget to keep hitting that subscribe button and we will grow the channel together. Right, moving on, we're going to cover territory capture rules. Literally just going to skim through this. I'm not going to dwell too much into the rules of this. It just says key terms. If you want to see any of these links, please head over to my Discord and I will link them down below, unless you're on obviously the normal Discord, and then you can see them anyway. So you've got key rules, you've got alliance resources, territory, embassies, origin sectors, overdrive. These are all of the key terms and what they actually mean. They've got different types of embassies. This is what they look like. You've got different screens, obviously. So you're not owned by the alliance. It looks like this one. Owned by an alliance looks like this. It says their alliance tag at the top, but basically that's all it does. And then during takeover, it says here and how many points each, obviously, alliance that's going for that specific zone. It says how many points each one has, and the likelihood, and obviously the takeover and stuff like that. Got different main hubs, stuff like that, and then we go to the different zones. So these, basically you can see this and this is accumulating into this apparently. Sure. And then takeovers. Every zone has a scheduled takeover time every week, during which alliance may sign up to join the takeovers to score points. Joining a takeover, this is the main one. So an alliance member ranked Commodore or higher can join the alliance into the zone takeover. Joining a takeover is required before anyone from the alliance can score points towards the takeover. You can only join on an ongoing takeover. You will need an empty zone slot to join a takeover if your alliance doesn't already own that zone. If your alliance doesn't currently own any territory, you can only opt in to join takeovers in tier 1 zones. If your alliance does own territory, you can attempt to take over any zone that is adjacent to your current territory. So you need to think where you want to go, and then adjacent has a warp path, blah blah blah. If your alliance owned by the zone, you can be automatically joined into the zone takeover without having to pay. That's for the zone that you already own. And then this is obviously the screen, blah blah blah. The reason I'm rushing through this is because I want to talk about patch 24 rather than more takeover stuff, because we covered this twice now. Takeover calculator, which we've already discussed a little bit in terms, and we've discussed the point system. So one for each ship in the zone, and then 4 if you're on a capture node, which is obviously what we spoke about yesterday, I believe. And then takeover duration. Tier 1 zones takeover time is 30 minutes, tier 2 is 45, and tier 3 is 60. And then you have an overdrive duration of 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and then 20 minutes for the respective zones. That's the last. So whatever it is, 10, 15, or 20, that's the last them amounts for that zone. So it'd be the last 10, last 15, or last 20. Zone slots. Zone slots are used to indicate the alliance interested in or control over a zone. You will need a zone slot for every zone your alliance owns or wants to take over. The zone slot will be automatically returned to your alliance if your alliance loses the takeover for the associated zone. So that's pretty straightforward stuff. Ownership benefits, again, we've discussed most of this stuff as well. Exclusive housing, exclusive mining, services that they might provide, stuff like that, service benefits, resources, deep space, so on and so on. Just to show you where the zones are, if you are unaware, why are you on? There we go. So if you are unaware of where the zones are, if you zoom out on your map, and then if you scroll down, and keep going, you'll see that these zones down here, so you got Maca Alpha and all these different areas, these are your zones. So you got obviously tier 1, tier 2, and then tier 3 zones, donated by obviously the different emblems. There is ways into these zones, there is specific routes in. So you have to warp in through this zone, for example. It's locked at the moment, obviously. So you got to warp in through that zone, this zone. There is, I think, a few at the top as well. Yeah, so you got over here by Addo, and you got some by Not as well. So you got all these different zones you can zoom into. So just bear that in mind. Right, so let's go back out. Okay, so moving on to what we actually want to talk about, or what I want to talk about, is actually the patch notes. Patch note 24 released today, today being the 10th of the 11th, 2020, or 10th of November, however you want to say it. So patch notes, Commander, please prepare your fleets and muster your officers, because patch 24 is here. The Takeover the Galaxy patch, territory captures, which again we're not going to dwell too much on this section of it, just because we've spoke about this pretty much in detail now. Rally your alliance and engage in the territory takeover across the different access exclusive services, manning, housing, and rewards. So there are 3 systems close to the territory capture space near the tutorial zone. 75 total nodes, 25 per system. So we got Clossie, Vemi, and Marza. They're the 3 different places, territory capture space near the tutorial zone. And the following systems in Rogue Space each have nodes as well. 48 total nodes, 6 per system. So you've got Valence. I'm not going to read them. You can read them yourselves if you want to. But yeah, they're the different places as well. Walarch, Peckinpah, and Yuma. And you've got a nice little photo here. And then Discovery and Territory Capture missions. So continue the Discovery arc, with a whole set of new missions, and learn about the new Territory Capture mode with additional planetary and progenitor focused missions. I think so. And then new Discovery officers. We've got 3 new officers. We've got Ash Tyler, we've got Hugh Colbert, and Ariam. Obviously these come with the battle pass and then stuff like that as well. The battle pass will be coming back again, and various events obviously to follow for the arc. So Ash Tyler is going to be your rare officer. He's a hold position when defending a territory capture node. Increase your officer's attack by X percentage. Obviously that will depend depending on his level. And then he has one called the Beast Inside. Whilst the enemy is affected by burning every round, increase this ship's damage by X percentage of officer's attack. This is a cumulative amount. So burning, we will come on to burning. There's multiple ways obviously you can get burning on a ship now. You've got obviously Giorgio, which will give obviously the synergy, and you've got obviously Nero, and we'll come on to a new one in just a second. And then you've got some uncommons, which is going to be, your Hugh, for example. He has protective. When defending a TC node, increase your armor by X percentage of the total health. And he has learned from the best, reduced jump and instant warp costs, which is obviously pretty decent as well, which goes together obviously with your Stannis and stuff like that. And then you got your Arium. So this is again what I was getting at in terms of your burning ability as well. So Isogen Miner, which is a better mining rate of ISO even, and then she has a cybernetic enhancement when defending a TC node, and when your HHP is lower than 85% of the starting value, apply burning to every enemy each round. So again, this could be quite useful when obviously defending the nodes, providing you're obviously low on whole hit points, or I think that's what it stands for, something like that anyway, HP anyway. The problem is it's 85, so I don't know how likely that is. So probably Jojo or someone like that is probably better to deal to partner with Ash Tyler. That's probably a better option to do, I would say. Obviously these things are going to need to be tested out and stuff like that, and I will test them. I will endeavour to test them out once I have them unlocked and stuff. At the moment I can't really do that because I don't have them unlocked, so just have to bear with me. And then you got the Battle Pass, Avatars and Frames as normal. This is the normal stuff for the arc. This is Discovery Part 3, don't forget. So this is the last part of the Discovery arc. And then you got Improvement Alliance Online. So as per our community feedback, we have now implemented a feature where Alliance leaders can now see when their Alliance members were last online. So that's going to be useful for Commodores, Admirals and the likes, because it shows how active your Alliance is. And then there's loads of bug fixes as usual. I'm not going to go through these again because to be honest, they're kind of boring, and they never fix stuff that really needs fixing. They fix little things, but they never really fix stuff that really needs fixing. So we won't bother going through the bugs because it's kind of pointless. So going back to the game, what we're going to do, let's just go back, and then we're going to jump in, have a look at the officers, see what they look like. And obviously I don't have them, but just bear with. So we've got Colbert. Obviously you've got Colbert and his different abilities. So again, 5% reduction that was, and then a 50% of the total health of the officers, which again is pretty decent. You got the minimum rate, so now we can actually see the actual totals. Now the minor speed of Isogen is 40% faster, which is pretty good. I don't know what that Isogen is yet, but we'll soon find out. And then you got has a 60% chance of banning the opponents for this round. So again, 60% is not so bad. It's just whether you get the... Oh, it's actually different to the online. Yeah. Okay. So that doesn't make any sense. So they must, I don't know what they've done. They must have changed it maybe. This is clearly fucking stupid. So online, on their own patch notes, as I've just read out, it says cybernetic enhancement is her ability, Arium's ability. You can clearly see it's cybernetic tactician. And then online it says when defending a tactical node, or territory node should I say, and when the HP is lower than 85% of starting value, apply banning to enemy each round. And clearly it says here, when defending a capture node at the start of each round, Arium has a 60% chance of banning the opponent for each round. So that is actually a better ability than the one that they stated on their own patch notes. So that's actually a pretty decent ability, because 60% is quite high, especially if you get synergies and stuff like that. That's pretty decent. And then just in case his is wrong as well, I don't know why they've done this. So you got hold position. So when defending a capture node, Ash Tyler gives all officers on the ship a bonus of 60% to their attack, which is pretty decent. Again, it gives a caveat of attack may result in an increase in damage, which could possibly help you. And then you got the beast inside, which is at the start of each round if the opponent is banning, which obviously if you put him with Arium it might be, or again Jojo, which we'll come to in a second. And then Ash Tyler increases the damage of a ship by 50% of the total attack of all officers. And this is an accumulative one. So as not, if you put him as captain, for example, then that's going to be that on top of his accumulative 50%. So that is pretty decent overall. If you go to Jojo, which is not that way clearly, so her secondary ability is at the beginning of each round. Jojo has a 50% chance of banning the opponent for ship for 2 rounds. So if you can activate this, and the good thing this is a officer ability. So if you do have her, put her with Ash Tyler as captain, and then put her as your officer, because obviously that's pretty decent. Obviously, the only downside is you won't get this ability at the start of each round if your opponent is banning. Captain Jojo decrease the attack of all the officers on the opponent's ship by 100%, which is obviously really good as well. So you can sort of mix and match and see which one works out best. At the moment, I think if you're defending territory, this is probably the better one to maybe go for. But at the same time, if you're going to go with Jojo, she decreases the opponent attacking by 100%, their attack by 100%, so that's pretty decent as well. So that could work out probably better. But you'll have to sort of mix and match and see what comes up from this stuff. Right, I'm going to end the video there because I don't want it too long and I don't want to bore the hell out of everyone. So hopefully this video has been informative. If it has, don't forget to like and comment down below. Head over to the Discord where all this information will be published on there. And I will see everyone in the next video. Make sure to hit that subscribe button and I'll see you next time. Bye bye for now.